Hi there, this is Justin from LemTask, and today we'll be answering a very important question. Is To Do actually worth using it in 2026? Well, we'll be looking at how To Do is, how it has changed over time, and depending on how you work, whether you actually like using the tool or whether it's just a bit chaotic or it isn't what you're looking for. We'll be looking at that, and for now we'll just go into To Do, right? And if you are wondering why there's all this info, you can always go back and look at the previous videos. It covers everything that we've done so far, but I'll briefly go through everything. Here is where you add your daily to-dos. You can just type in here the task, run, then you can just add the color of the task depending on how you like to describe or how you'd like to allocate what color does what. As in red for agent, green for not so agent, yellow for medium, and blue maybe for something else. So you can just do that, and then you can edit here and add the details here. 5 kilometers, right? Let's add that 5 kilometers. And that's pretty much it. The date remains constant since it's already set in stone there. There we go. And then here you have your lists, right? This is your lists. You can add a new list and keep adding more. And here are your planning as well. You can add this, what you call tabs. There's your list, your planning, your client one and two. Those are what you call tabs. You can add more tabs as you go. So depending on how you want to structure this whole thing and how you'd view it in general, actually, that's just the basics of it. And then now we'll get into the deep aspect of it, of whether this tool is worth using in 2026. So what I can say is that right now in 2026, there are a lot of task managers. Others have a lot of automations. Others have a lot of AI suggestions and integrations. Others are even integrated with what's this called Task Manager. So there are a lot of features for these tools, and it's just this tool against all the other tools with very, very interesting and very tempting features. So when you have a look at To Do, it feels like it's a bit stuck in time since it's the same thing everywhere, all the time, and every single year. Nothing really changed that much. So that's just the gist of it when it comes to this. As you can see here, you can arrange it in the terms of number of columns. You can just do one column, view 3 columns, there we go, and view 7 columns for 7 days in a week, and that creates more space on this. So getting back to it, whether To Do holds up to the competition in this day and age, it depends on the user, on how they feel about it, how it works out for them, and how it supports their work structure. So that actually depends on us as the users and how you actually feel about using it. So To Do, obviously, it's loved by people, but not everyone loves it, depending on the person and what they use the tool for. So what I would say is that this tool is often used by people who like being minimalistic, well, like people who find being minimalistic essential for them. So they don't like complicated features. They don't like complicated aesthetics in their tools. They just like it as simple as possible. However, even though a tool might be simple, if it doesn't have the features that support a certain project or a certain workflow or certain workload, it suddenly becomes a burden to use. No matter how much, let's say, you like the tool, it will become a burden at some point. So, so for tools like this, minimalism works when your work is stable and the tasks are independent. So you don't need to have a task that carries over to the next day or a task that relies on another task in order to proceed, those kind of things. And it works very well when your priorities don't really change every hour, every 4 hours, every maybe 6 hours. So it's useful for workloads and tasks that are very much constant, and in that environment, to do becomes a very useful daily anchor. It doesn't compete for attention, of course. It doesn't distract. Everything is right here on your screen, straightforward, as you can see, and the details are always hidden. When you want to view the details, you can just press here and view all the details. There we go. So that's just how essentially the tool is. And for those who need flexibility, this tool struggles to adapt because it's very much rigid. It lacks flexibility, and if your tasks depend on each other and your work spans multiple days, or your priorities just suddenly shift midday, or just shift all of a sudden, this tool is something that definitely will not work for you. So this is where like the whole flexibility mindset matters. If you're all about flexibility, this is where other tools might be useful. But if you're all about minimalism and the whole calming relief, then that's when this tool is very much useful to you. So does flexibility really matter often? Well, I would say it kind of does, because in this day and age, you don't just focus on one thing. You do multiple things, and most of the time, you do multiple things at the same time, depending on the agency of the task that you're working on, depending on what the client all of a sudden changes their mind on something. So these are the things that you should look at on a daily basis. And when that happens, a day only list or a today only list can't adapt fast enough, like to do over here. So you end up tracking work mentally, which is something that you don't need in the first place. You need that mental relief when you're working on task or when you're using tools like this. So that's when you need the relief, and that's when you know that tools that are like this don't really work out well. So that is where to do so sort of comes to an end, or where people outgrow to do and use other tools with many more features that can support those cross-stage tasks or responsibilities. So, is to do relevant in 2026? I would say it's not really outdated. It's not really behind, but it depends on how the users use it. There are some users who prefer simple, straightforward, and minimal tasks, and there are some users who prefer tools that are embedded into the to-do lists, like your AI automations, your AI assist, and other options in between. So the mistakes that people make is assuming that one tool should work for everyone, which is not really the case. And to do is worth using in 2026 if you value calm environment or calmness over over interconnected and chaotic tasks that are always intertwined. If you if your priorities change oftenly and frequently, then this tool is not necessary for you. So if you need something that can accommodate and support all that, you can have a look at LemTask. And with LemTask, you can do the same thing that you do on your to do. So as you can see, you have your dashboard, and you have your today, your tasks today, and you have your all tasks, which is all the tasks you can ever do. If you want to know or figure out how this was done, you can have a look at the previous videos that we did. So here you can say all the tasks that need to be complete. Since they're overdue, you can just click them, done. And then the orange ones, they are mid-level priorities. The red ones, they are high-level priorities, and the green ones are low-level priority clients or low-level priority tasks. So with that being said, this plain one here is no priority, so you can choose whether to do it or not. And every time you complete the tasks, this is how it appears like. So there are tasks that are recurring on a daily basis, and they'll always be here. So you can just mark them off like that, and then they would come back again for the following day. So as you can see here, some tasks are coming back due today at 7 p.m. This one was overdue, so we'll just mark it as done. And that's how it actually goes. Like here, you can set your priority level from high, medium to low to none. And here you can set your energy levels depending on how much effort you need to put in the task. You can always put it there. And then you have your lists, like this tool right here that has lists. You have your list as well. You can categorize them however you want and add tasks however you want. So that's just how you can always view this. And if you need more information on these tools, you can catch the description in the bio below or in the description below. And then that's it from me. I will catch you on the next video to continue on our discussion regarding these tools. And thank you very much.